Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Setting Goals Using WIFM. First, I would like to clear a few housekeeping things. One, we will have a hard stop around 11:45 today. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulty we had this morning. Again, thank you for taking time to join us. Everyone's mics have been muted. However, if you wish to join conversation, have something to say, please just unmute your mic and feel free to ask or use the chat feature down below. All these Zooms are recorded. They're recorded for people that get busy, can't make it, missed it, what have you, and for our own benefit of learning and helping train ourselves better. Post-survey, you will be getting an email asking to complete a post-survey. We really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It just helps us get better and improve our training. Also, at the end of the course, I will have a QR code up where you can just take your phone, scan it, and fill the survey out. It takes, again, 3 to 4 minutes, and I do appreciate all of you that have filled them out in the past. Who is DAG? DAG's been around since 2007. DAG provides training, advising, consultant services to franchise and independent dealers throughout the US and Canada. You know, we are trainers at heart. That's what we love to do. We train all the time, and we only use the legal, ethical, and profitable advising methods. Our new office, hey, it's about here. So excited. Should be completed here in January. Going to start doing our live in-office trainings in February. I'm just so excited. You guys are going to love this place. A little about me. Monty Summers, Vice President of Training and Development. I've been in the business over 25 years. Pretty much done everything. And the finance office the last 16 years with a verifiable 3,000 plus per car average. Married, 3 kids, lived in Indiana, born and raised. Currently on the west side in Brownsburg. You'll see over there on the left, I have my contact information, my cell phone, email address. Feel free to reach out, text, call, email, however, get a hold of me. Make sure you take your phone, take a snapshot of that. I'll have it also back up at the end of the session today. So, what is WIFM? WIFM stands for What's in It for Me. It is a simple but powerful question that people ask when they face change. WIFM helps you understand the needs, motivations, and expectations of your stakeholders, the people you manage, and helps you tailor your communication accordingly. WIFM is not about being selfish or greedy, but about being realistic and relevant. People are more likely to embrace change if they see how it benefits them personally or professionally. Now, before we dive into WIFM, let's review precisely how 99% of the dealerships set goals today and why it's just, frankly, an incorrect method. Because after the goals are set, there is no more conversation about it. Why? Because it's just a number. It's hollow. The number doesn't mean anything to anybody. There's no depth to it. There's no WIFM. As a salesperson, what does it mean to them if they hit their number? Maybe a, hey, good job. That's it. So I've created this fake dealership here and how they the traditional way they set goals. And in this particular one, I came up with 8 salespeople. And in November, the goals were set. Now, there's 2 ways that they typically are set. Now, the general manager, owner, has already given the number of the store goal. And as you can see that here is 120. Sorry. Is 120. So what happens is the manager goes around and says, Ben, how many are you going to do this month? I'm going to do 12. Kim, 10, and so on and so on, so on. So what happens is he goes around the room and he adds all those up and it comes to 112. Hey guys, wait a second. The store is 120. I'm short 8 cars here. Ben, you need to step it up, bud. How many are you going to do? Can you do 15? And he goes, sure. Kim, can you do 12? She goes, I'll try. And then Xavier, now he gets to Tommy and goes, Tommy, you can do 14, right? Yeah. And Jennifer, same thing. Alex leaves it at 20. Cam bumps 1. David bumps 1. Now we get 120. All right, we're at the store goal now. Yeah. But look what he did to Tommy and Jennifer. He took their number down. How bad is that? Man, they're pumped up now. You just in front of everybody made them feel horrible just because you told people what you thought they were going to do in order to achieve the store goal. So you look at the November results there in the center. What happened? Let's look through those. 12, 8, 10, 13. Wait a second. Nobody, and I mean nobody, hit their goal. They did 93 cars. So now we're back in the sales room again for December, and we're going to do the same thing again, this poor forecasting, goal setting, than we did in November, and we probably did the whole year prior to that. So we go through and everybody says what they're going to do. Now the store goal here is 110 because, it's December, maybe a little slower, but it comes to 95. And now the manager goes, wait, guys, that's 15 cars short. I need your help. Come on, Ben. Come on. You did 12 last month. You can do 13. Kim, you had a bad month. Come on. You say 16, but you do 18. So we get to the 110 number again. And everyone, of course, agrees to this new number the manager's putting out. Why? To get this damn meeting over with. It's like, it's so reductive. Every month we do it and do it and do it. And, if you don't hit the number, there's no penalty. And if you hit the number, it's a good job. Wow, that's nice. Now, let's, back to this number. I can't stress enough this number. It's a hollow number. Therefore, what's the real point of doing this? I mean, it comes next month and this poor goal setting process is repeated. It has no weight, no substance. You could have just used ping pong balls. Oh, here comes the number 12. All right, 12. Next number, 44. 44, that's a lot. 44 it is. Stupid. It doesn't make sense and it doesn't work. So you got to use and set goals using a WIFM, which can be managed. Now, first, you have to know what each salesperson WIFM is. You have to take the time to set them down and have conversation, and then reverse engineer it. Now, let's look at the sales board after doing so. Same 8 salespeople. Look over here on the right, the WIFM. Ben, he wants to get a ski boat. Kim, she wants to get a house. She's been renting for a long time and just really has the desire to get her own house. Xavier, he wants a new Rolex watch. Tommy, he'd like to buy a camper. Jennifer, she's getting married and she needs to save for the wedding. Alex, well, he doesn't want anything material. He wants to be recognized as the top salesperson. Awesome. Cam, he wants to go to Aruba on vacation. And David, he'd like to get to that wedding, but first he has to get the engagement ring. So that's their WIFM. And you have to back into that number and reverse engineer it. And we'll get to that in a second. But what I want to point out here is once you've done the reverse engineering and see what it takes to obtain their goals, their wants, what they want, you have to reverse engineer it and you come up with numbers that is their numbers, not the store number, not the manager's numbers, but these are their numbers. And as you can see here for December, that totals 125. And the manager didn't have to bump them on what they kind of thought they were going to do. He's not barking at them that you got to sell more, you got to sell more. 125. Look at that. In December, the store goal is 110. But now the salesperson, because it's their WIFM, it's their desire, their want, they're at 125. Hallelujah. Now, we're gonna use Kim for our discussion today. We have to look at how her existing income is earned. So this here is ABC Motors, again, just a made-up store. But you have to look at historic data that gives you the picture so you can know how to reverse engineer it. So the average commission per vehicle sold at ABC is $500. Now, $400 of that is from the vehicle sale. Then they have $50 spiff for Lucas Oil ceramic protection and a $50 spiff for every VSC sold. So essentially, that's how you get to the 500. The 400, if you get both spiffs, it's 500. We'll get into that a little more in a little bit. Now, Kim's production, her average, typically Kim, every 10 leads or 10 people she talks to, she's going to get 5 appointments that show for 50%. Those that show, 4 of them, she's going to get them to have a test drive. So that's 40%. Now, 2 get a formal write-up, the numbers. So 20%. And out of those 2, she's going to sell 1 for 10% of her 10 leads. So we have to keep that in mind. Now, she isn't going to get the Lucas Oil and vehicle service contract on every deal. So with that in mind, instead of engineering it with 1 car less or basing it off everything at 500, because it could be 4, we have to probably bump it up once we reverse engineer it by 1. Now, the other thing you got to do is you got to figure out when she's going to work. So you managers out there, the schedule matters because you have to coach and mentor your staff. So based off the calendar, which is here, Kim's going to work 20 days in January. At this dealership, the first they're closed. They're closed on Sundays. Her day off is on Tuesdays. Several months ago, she put a vacation day in for the 24th and 25th. So as you can see, that gives you 20 working days. You have to do this every month. You base it upon the actual schedule. Now, what you'll probably see in every salesperson's work on that Tuesday, because she took off a couple extra days to do whatever she wanted to do, if she's close to her WIFM now on the 28th, guess what? You're probably going to see her walk in the door. She's probably going to work that day because, again, that WIFM is important to her. without that WIFM, the old traditional way, there's no reason to go in. There's nothing I'm striving for. And I could go in and make a few extra bucks, but now it has relevance. Man, she could get that house. And I did take off Friday and Saturday. That was great. I'm entitled to it. I earned it. But now that regular day off on that Tuesday, I'm going to go in. I want to make sure I hit this. So it's huge, guys. You have to talk about the schedule, figure it out, reverse engineer what it's going to take that month, every single month. So reverse engineering. This is what you do, kind of the framework of it. Now, we've got to look at using the WIFM method to set goals that can be managed. And again, you have to know what each salesperson's WIFM is. You have to set them down and have conversation, then reverse engineer it. Now, Kim says her WIFM was that she wants to quit renting her residence and would love to buy a home. Great. Let's see what we must do to make that a reality. So as their manager, I need to help her reverse engineer this. You got to ask the questions. How much is your current rent? She says $800. How much will your mortgage payment, bills, and the increase in money required to do that? And let's assume she says $2,000. So the deficit is $1,200. 2,000 minus the 8 leaves 12. So we have to find $1,200. Well, then the taxes. So let's move that up by 35%. So now let's call it 1,620. She has to make 1,620 to net 1,200 in additional income. So what has to happen in order for Kim to obtain her WIFM? She's got to find 50 more leads or opportunities. She could increase one or two of the metrics, and that's, how many people does she get to take a test drive? How many people did she get to the write-up stage? Better closing percentage. So Kim has 20 working days, and Kim has to talk to 2 to 3 more people a day. She's talking to 4 people right now. And we must, just absolutely must have to move it to 7 for her to get this house. So you break it down weekly because you must discuss it weekly. You can't just set these goals at the beginning of the month and have no more conversation about them. I mean, it's got to be weekly, if not daily. She has to find 35 people to speak to every week. 7 people times 5 days equals 35. It's her WIFM. It's her WIFM. It's not your WIFM. And you just, if you don't talk about it, I can't stress that enough. You got to talk about it because it's their WIFM. They're excited to talk about it. They're proud of it. It's their WIFM. So remember the traditional way. The sales manager says the number is 110. The manager starts going around the room and asking how many you're going to do. Then the manager adds them up. Well, guys and gals, we're short. I need 5 people to give me 1 more, or whatever it is. And of course, those 5 people agree to it. Why? Just to get out of this dreadful meeting we have every single month. Now, again, maybe they happen, then maybe they hit it, and perhaps they don't. Nothing happens. It's a hollow number. But now, with everyone's WIFM established, you can sit down with Kim every Monday and dig into the CRM, because that's the data you're going to use for these meetings. It shows Kim hasn't talked to 35 people this last week. So now you have the right, the responsibility to say to Kim, I see you're not any closer to getting that house. Now, I don't have to be mean about it, but it's got to be talked about because she gave her WIFM. She owns the WIFM. It's hers. It's not my WIFM, nor the dealership principal's WIFM. She told me what her WIFM is, and we reversed engineered it and agreed on the activity needed to achieve her WIFM, that new house, right? Now, you're going to have blunt conversations. You realize you need to do the things we agreed to. That house is just a dream. It won't become a reality if you don't hit these numbers. I want you to get that house. How can I help? Since Kim and I have established the WIFM, I have the right now to discuss the things that you've noticed that may be standing in her way, her habits. So like you can bring up as just conversation now. It's not demeaning. It's just, I'm trying to help you get there. Now, Kim, I noticed you take a lot of 2-hour lunches. Man, girl, you're 20 minutes late 4 out of the 5 days a week. You know, you're always asking to leave early. Man, nighttime, people come in to buy cars. Your CRM, I noticed things are starting to pile up. You're not closing things out. You're not following up with your phone calls. I don't see that you've asked for any referrals. So you can have those conversations, and it's not that you're not really getting on her. You're just letting her know, hey, I noticed this is standing in your way of obtaining your new house. Now, the WIFM, it has to be posted in the sales room, on the sales board. You add everyone's number up that it takes to hit their WIFM, and it ended up being 125. Again, guess what? The store number for the month is 110. You and everybody are going to be heroes. So, sales managers that are on this call today, you don't choose the number. They did. They don't give a shit what the store number is. It's about them. What's important to them. Now, that's how you build culture. That's how you build culture. We'll get back into that here in a second. The number you traditionally give them means nothing. I'm just being honest with you. They could care less. It's hollow. Now, because you have this number tied to a WIFM, you can say things like in the sales meetings, Kim, I see you're at 8. Great start. Only 5 more. You get to move out of that apartment and get your first house. Think that's a difference? Damn right it's different. Again, culture change. You're coaching. You're mentoring people based on the things they want. Now, you don't no longer have to set fake goals and micromanage them because, frankly, when you do that, they're going to hate their job. And frankly, they're going to hate you. Believe me, I was there. I dreaded those damn meetings. It doesn't matter what I say. You're going to change it anyway. You're on my keister all the time. I really start not to like you. And then eventually what happens? Yeah, they quit. Now, people typically don't quit companies. They quit people. Look, when they set their WIFM, you both have agreed on a behavior. What they viewed once as a micromanager, they view as helping or a colleague that's right beside them, working side by side, helping them get to their WIFM. It gives you more to talk about. Are you going to get a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house? Now you're being a leader, not a micromanager. You have created a great culture. Just think about that. You now have created a great culture that you've been striving for, but just couldn't get there. Your staff is now empowered. They have purpose. They have meaning. They feel great about themselves. No matter what their WIFM is. And even if somebody comes to you and it's just an unrealistic WIFM in your mind, hey, it's their WIFM. You still reverse engineer it. It's their WIFM again. It's not your WIFM. What's it take to get there? Help them. Just coach and mentor them along the way. With the new way, they feel they might surprise you. You may have just unleashed a beast. Maybe before they sold 7 for months and months and months in a row. And now they're selling 15. Because guess what? You got it. They have a WIFM. It's theirs. They own it. Someone, when you're doing the set down to find out what their WIFM is, may just say, I just want more time off. I just want more time off. Well, great. Let's reverse engineer it, come up with a number and a plan to execute more time off with greater results due to the WIFM. Hey, if I got a salesperson that's selling 8 a month and now they're consistently selling 15, tell me when you want to work. Because now if you want those few extra days off and you continue still hitting the larger number, it's a win-win for everybody. Do it. Generally speaking, it's not black and white. But generally speaking, it's people have 2 motivators. One obviously is money, but the other one is recognition. So how do you reverse engineer what it takes to be number 1 salesperson, to get that recognition so you can walk around, hey, I'm king, I'm number 1. You take how many cars the top salesperson sold in the last 3 months. And this is where it's hard, guys. You take the average of those 3 months and you add 1. Simple. Thought it was going to be harder than that, didn't you? No, just add 1. You then will look at what behavior changes needs to be made to get there. Now, in the sales meetings, when you have these sales meetings, you have to go over their WIFM. Everybody's. And you have to be the biggest, and I mean the biggest, most excited cheerleader in the room. Oh my gosh, it's week 3 and Kim's got 9 out. So we have to help Kim get 3 more cars out this month. Guys, do you realize if she does that, she's going to hit her WIFM and she's going to get her new house? We all want Kim to get her new house. Kim, do you have any B-backs in the works? Anything that you know of that we can help with? Everybody, please, if Kim needs some help, let's help her get her new house. Is there anyone I can call for you? Just let us know, Kim. We're here for you. And you know what, guys? Each and every one of you in this room, I'm here to help you hit your WIFM. I know it's greatly important to you, but it's important to me too. The WIFM can be applied. Excuse me. The WIFM can be applied in the sales department, the finance department, the service drive, you name it. But you know what? You you have to care enough to ask your staff what their WIFM is. Then be the manager you were hired to be and help them achieve their WIFM. You're going to be now, you're now respected and valued by everyone. You built the new culture. Yes, you built the new culture. Now, what do you do now? If you're sitting there as a manager and you're asking, what's the next step? The next step is to go set the wheels in motion. You got this. You can do it. Ask me for any of these slides that have been put up here. Call me, text me, email me. I'm here to help you guys. You know, if you start getting into it and get stuck like, oh, I don't know what to do next. Man, DAG is here for you. Again, we are trainers. We're here to help. So don't hesitate to reach out. Now, one last thing before we wrap up today, I want to look at is employment ads. You know, I said you could use the WIFM in the sales department, the finance department, the service drive, you name it. But your ads can do it too. Let's look at a couple examples here. Traditional job ad. It's all about the dealership with fibs used throughout. ABC Motors is growing. Maybe. We need salespeople that appreciate a great culture and fun atmosphere. You know, culture. Well, what is it? Is it really that great? We're looking for people that focus on the customer's needs to help the dealership sell more cars. So you want me to come and work there and worry about the customer's needs and help the dealership sell more cars. You know, that same ad that I've seen over the course of my career, what, 50 times? I think some dealers just copy it from other people and post it again because it's just ridiculous when you really look at it. Now, a WIFM salesperson job ad is all about the individual. Are you ready to make some money? Like serious Jack. We want to help you succeed. How do we do that? Easy. We want to know what your financial goals are, and we will create a plan for you to hit them all. Want proof? Our top salesperson made $17,500 last month. Our second and third place salespeople made over $15,000. Many bought Rolexes, boats, new cars. One moved out of an apartment into a new home. And don't worry, if you need training, we have it. Your job and your career will have an agreed upon path for you to accomplish your financial goals. Well, guys and gals, I can hear the conversation now with the dealership that ran the top ad. Man, nobody's applying. Nobody wants to sell cars anymore. Nobody's coming in the door. The people are. Oh, I wouldn't hire them. You know why? Because they're all applying to the second ad. That's why. This guy's got more people applications to hire than what he needs. It's all about the WIFM, guys. Every aspect, the WIFM. Now, if you want copies of these ads, any of the slides I put up, just email me and I will forward them to you. We're going to open the mics up if you'd like to ask any questions, to chat. Just unmute yourself. Again, thank you for showing up today. Apologize again for the technical coverage we had on the first 10 o'clock. My email, my phone number is on the bottom. Again, ITAP menu is our preferred menu. It's great. If you're not using it, let us know. We'll get you a demo on it. You just won't believe how easy it is and flexible. QR